Showing you now a live look at Ground Zero in New York City as we mark 22 years since the 9/11 terror attacks on New York and the Pentagon. This before passengers stopped another in Pennsylvania. Even now, more than 2 decades later, many Americans still feeling the impact of those attacks. Here's ABC's Derek Tennis.
Last night, the tribute in lights shining upward during a test, hours before the official tribute to the victims of the World Trade Center attacks 22 years ago today. Robert Gray worked for NORAD that day, monitoring U.S. airspace. He visited the World Trade Center site last night.
As we walked into this area, it made me start to weep.
2,753 people died in Lower Manhattan that day, and just this weekend, the remains of 2 more were identified by the medical examiner. 40% of those lost are still unidentified.
We saw this plane flying at a very low altitude, extremely fast, but was so low I could read on the fuselage the word American.
Joe Pfeiffer was the first fire chief on the scene. His job sending firefighters in to save lives, including his own brother, Kevin.
I ordered him, as I ordered many of my other fire officers, to take their unit and go upstairs to evacuate the building.
Kevin died in the collapse of the towers, but many others were saved by the men and women who rushed into those buildings, knowing they might not come out alive. 341 members of New York's fire department have now succumbed to Ground Zero-related illnesses. For Robert Gray, reflecting at the site last night, the lesson 22 years later is this:
We need to be ready for anything.
ABC News Live will bring you coverage of today's remembrance services throughout the day. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Across North Texas this morning, people set to come together to honor the victims of 9/11. There are ceremonies planned in Grapevine, Mesquite, Capel, Prosper, and Kennedale, among others. The earliest remembrances kick off at 7:30.